It is time for another exciting edition of Elko Live here on KELK, featuring Matt McCarty, Director of the Elko Senior Center. Happy holidays, Matt.
Yes, ma'am. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I love this time of year.
I do too.
And I appreciate that we are an exciting episode, an exciting program. So thank you.
Absolutely, Matt. There's the Elko Senior Center is such an important part of the quality of life in our community, as well as just for the seniors who help to build this community. But it's really the center and the focus of a lot of fun holiday cheer this year. And I wanted to make sure you got to run that down, and then also remind everybody how they can help support the Senior Center, not just this time of year, but year-round today. So welcome to the program. It's great to have you at least once a month here. I got to see you and enjoy the Christmas Bazaar with my family, and it looked like it was a huge success, Matt.
Yes, the Christmas Bazaar was this past weekend, and we are still tallying numbers, and I don't have everything to be able to compare back necessarily to what we had done in years past. I can say that we had a 50-50 raffle and cash raffle, and so that did earn more than any other year in the past, so that is terrific. And overall, not counting, of course, the taxes, because that's not something we get to keep, we should have generated about $35,000 for the Senior Center, which is pretty amazing, and it's definitely our largest fundraiser. So it's terrific to be able to have that support from the community and support from the vendors, and we appreciate everybody that came out for that.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Not bad for a weekend, Matt.
Not bad at all, I say.
Yeah, and great partners there at the E-Center in Elko, and onward and upward. We know that with this holiday season, there are delicious meals, live entertainment. There's a lot happening at our Senior Center.
There is. Last week we had the Mountain View Choir come in, so they gave us some holiday renditions and a meal and a show, if you will. This week we will have a production of some drama students coming in from Elko High School. They'll do a short Christmas skit, so that will be interesting to see. That will be tomorrow. Then on Friday we have a young pianist, Patton Duncan. He will be in on Friday. Next Thursday, we have the Elko High School Choraleers, so that's terrific. We actually have the handbell choir they're playing as we speak, though because of the acoustics in our large dining room, they can't play there, and so they only play in our large activity room for the Rotary Club. So if you're a member of the Rotary Club, you were able to hear them today. They'll play again tomorrow morning for the morning Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Elko Desert Sunrise. And so those are there. And if you're interested in hearing the handbell choir, which is always an amazing show to be able to see, the performance is terrific. They will be at the First Presbyterian Church on Sewell Drive this Sunday, the 14th at 4 p.m. It's a donation suggested concert. There is no fee to be able to go in and enjoy this concert in this beautiful venue with the stained glass, and it's just always a wonderful show. So I encourage, especially folks that may have not seen it previously, it is really beautiful to hear these bells and to hear these performers and these musicians play the bells and ring the bells. Yeah,
it is the season for a joyful noise, and how I'm so happy that you told us when the handbell concert is. It's going to be this coming Sunday, you said, 4 p.m. Okay, this coming Sunday. Friday is the Festival of Peace. That's the Ruby Mountain Voices. So, yes. So that one's at 6 p.m., and I'm trying to remember the venue on that one, but I might be the LDS Church on North 5th Street. Oh, no. I think I got that wrong, because I think they're also doing the Presbyterian Church, Matt, because they're going to be serving a dessert reception. And so they have a kitchen and they can have cookies and everything there. So, yeah, super cool. So hopefully we got that right. And then I know there's a community, I think it's the orchestra, next Wednesday, the 18th. So, I mean, you just got to check it all out. The good news is, if I've flubbed anything, go to exploreelko.com or the elkonevada.com websites. That's the Chamber of Commerce and the ECBA. They have extraordinary community calendars now. So
They do. Yeah, they do a great job. If for some reason something gets missed there's also the community hub.
Yes, Liz Todd's
Yep,
community
Liz Todd's
hub.
community
Yes.
hub. And then there's also Everything Elko.
Yes.
Katie Krinka's publication. And so there are so many different ways to be able to find that information.
Mm-hmm.
And if need be, you are always welcome to call the Senior Center at 775-738-3030, and we will be able to help you with that. While we've been talking, I've let my fingers fly across the keyboard, and you are absolutely right. It is at the First Presbyterian Church, and that's at 1559 Sewell Drive, and it'll be the 12th at 6:30.
All right. So look forward to that. Again, the Festival of Peace, Ruby Mountain Voices, then the handbell choir or the handbell concert, those handbells. That tradition is decades. It goes back, I don't know how many years yet, but probably 70 or so, I'm thinking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And using these incredible bells and volunteers from the community. So Sunday, 4 p.m. at the Presbyterian Church. So we just wanted to make sure that holidays are filled with joy and cheer, and then also acknowledge, Matt, that if people are struggling, if they need help, if it's mental health help, or you need shelter, food, you need some items for the pantry, the Senior Center is there to help as well.
We are, absolutely. And I want to make sure that it's clear to folks that may be new to our community. We are not an overnight shelter. We don't have folks that, we don't have beds that are open. However, we can try to help direct you to resources that you can use. We are the Senior Center, so we concentrate on those that are 60 and better, but we are part of the community. And I like to say that we are a community center that just happens to concentrate on seniors. And so everyone is welcome. We love to see people coming in. We want to be able to help. Nearly everyone there has a servant's heart. We are here for you. And so we just want to make sure that folks can get the help that they need. We may not have the direct access, but we will certainly keep trying to find an answer for you.
That's at the Senior Center at 1795 Ruby View Drive. You can visit elkoseniors.org, the website. You can call them and talk to an actual person. Weekdays between, it's like 8 to 3 generally?
Yeah, usually 7.
Yeah.
We've expanded a little bit. We have a full-time administrative assistant now. So now we've kind of said 7:30 to 3:30.
Nice.
And so usually you'll be able to get a hold of us. If we're helping a senior, make sure to leave a message, because we do go back and check the messages. Though don't leave a message on my phone, because I don't check the messages nearly as much, because I just don't. And so make sure that you leave it in the general voicemail box. That's kept pretty open. 775-738-3030. If you have questions, concerns, you want information about vaccinations, about the food pantry, about transportation for senior citizens or those with disabilities, all these questions and more likely can be answered with Absolutely.
you guys. So,
and again, we want to be able to help where we can and get you those resources that, again, we may not be able to directly provide, but at least get you pointed in the right direction to get the resources that will help you to live a more healthy, nutritious, social life in your later years.
Yeah, those meals are looking amazing. And there's so many contributions, birthday lunches, people that sponsor beef, like the Cattle Women, I think, do that donation every year.
Yeah, next Thursday is our annual Christmas dinner, Christmas luncheon, and the Elko County Cattle Women's Association donates the beef. I think this year it's 160 pounds worth of beef. It's amazing to see, again, that support from the community, to see the folks coming in. Today was just barbecue ribs, and we had 158 people in the dining room. So it's amazing to see that. I was telling you, Lori, earlier, as I was kind of a little bit late coming in, that we had a parking lot issue. We were trying to maneuver cars around. We had more than 18 people parked on the street because our parking lot was full. So trying to get them in and trying to just, serve, again, as many people as we can within the parameters that we have. So
that's right. I mean, that's the goal, that we live longer, happier, healthy lives. And that's why an expansion is, it's important to start planning and thinking about that, Matt. So I think that's really a good segue. I know that you presented to the Elko County Commission recently, which, as I observed, it seemed like it was well received, which is important because we know everybody's experiencing budget constraints right now. There are a lot of capital needs in the community. Certainly the Senior Center is not competing with anyone. And I think it was impressive, Matt, the way you described to the County Commission the goal of the Senior Center, which is its own 501c3 nonprofit.
Correct.
To be and to remain independent in your fundraising and your expansion plans.
Yes, absolutely. And we are trying to do that. We are looking at another parcel of land, or a parcel of land that we would own outright. The current Senior Center is a county building sitting on city land. So we have no capital assets to that regard. We only have the property assets, the equipment and so forth. Excuse me. And so we are looking at some point in the future, we are going to need to expand. At the rate we're growing, it will probably be well within the next decade. And if we don't secure land now, we won't have that ability to grow in the future in the locations that we want, or at least not for the fairly inexpensive amount that we were able to do now. $1 million is still $1 million, but $1 million for 9 acres in the center of Elko is certainly, I think, a good deal, and we're trying to do what we can there. And to your point, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that compliment back on the presentation to the County Commission. We would love to be self-sustaining, to have a program that generates enough investment income and enough support from the community that we don't rely on the government. I think that in our neck of the woods, that is something smaller government is better generally viewed, I think, in most of our citizenry. And so this is just, again, our attempt to be able to say, we want to take care of the seniors, but we want to do so where we're not beholden to a government agency that may run out of money, that may have a government shutdown, that may have somebody that says, nope, we're not going to do these grants anymore. We want to be able to have the flexibility and really the freedom to serve our seniors in a way that is truly theirs, because it's their senior center. And this is not because the county has done anything wrong, the state has done anything wrong, or the federal government has done anything wrong. It's just truly a desire for our current board to be independent and truly self-sustaining and be able to kind of pay our own way without those taxes and other things that have to pay for the grants that come out.
Well, Matt, I think people listening can appreciate that, as you said, especially being here in Elko County. And I also think it's important to stress that the Senior Center would not be exclusive if independent, because the center's so inclusive now. You can enjoy a congregate meal in the dining room, weekdays starting at 11:30. If you're 60 or better, it's a suggested donation. Just pay what you can when you can. And then if you're younger than 60, you can have a meal for $10. That's the current price. You serve Meals on Wheels, but you're always making ends meet. You're stretching the dollar to make sure that nobody gets turned away.
That's right. And that's the best that we can do with what we have currently. We want to be able to continue to expand that. During the presentation with the County Commission, we are serving just over 25% of seniors in the Elko Spring Creek census areas. So that means that today we had 158 people, and if we were averaging that out, we would multiply this by 4 to be able to get to where we are. So theoretically, that's 600 people that we would be serving if we were to able to, to touch everyone, and they came in at the same rate that we're currently serving. So that's a large ask. Now, that's an unrealistic goal to think that we're going to get to 100 people. But what we have found is that kind of that greatest generation, quote unquote, those that certainly were born near the World War II era, that have kind of come through that and maybe even were children during World War II, they were very independent, they had a strong resolve, and they didn't want to be beholden to folks. So they didn't partake as much in our services that we could do. Then that next kind of baby boomer type group coming through, still young, saying, I don't need to go to the senior center because I'm not that old. And they don't realize they're 70, 75, 80. And so we're not seeing all of them come through either. But we are seeing that beginning of that next generation, they're recognizing that there is some value to be able to utilize the services that are there. So while we may not be seeing a huge uptick in total number of seniors, we are most likely in the next 10 years going to see a higher participation of the seniors. And I mean no offense by any of this. I'm not trying to stereotype or anything. I'm just saying that trending, that's generally what it is. Those that are, that are in that greatest generation, 90, 100 years old, we want you to come in still. We are not going to turn you away by any means, and we love hearing the stories and hearing the experiences that are there. Same with those baby boomers that are, in that 60 to 80 year range, years old. We want them to come in and feel welcome too. But we know that this next generation coming in, they're going to start using more and more of our services, and we want to be prepared so that we're not caught unawares and that we have the ability to meet the needs of our community.
This is Matt McCarty. He's director of the Elko Senior Center. Listeners, obviously most listeners, I would think, are very familiar, Matt, with you and the goals and your leadership and vision for the center. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
We have a wonderful board that supports, where our staff is going, an amazing staff, and our volunteers. Just yesterday, we had a leadership advisory council that is solely our members, so that they can ask the questions that are coming in from the members.
And they ask good questions.
They do ask good questions, and then I can give some information back. And it's that old telephone chain of making sure that we tell the right people, and then they are the ones that get all that information out.
Yeah, they are long before Facebook. And they are accurate. That's the thing, as you said. You tell the right people the right information, and then it gets disseminated. So obviously this is all part of a long-term goal, but that land acquisition, it did, I was a little worried as I was listening to the county meeting because you have kind of a short window, a short period of time. So it's end of year giving. If people can make an investment in the future, Matt, how should they reach out to you?
Please call us first, 775-738-3030, 3030. And I'm going to be bold enough to say, call my cellular phone. Call me personally, 775-934-2892. Stop by the Senior Center, 1795 Ruby View Drive. Reach out to us and let us know, because we do need help. We do have a short window. The Elko Institute of Academic Achievement is who has that land currently. They have been so generous to give us a 1-year purchase period. And that term is going to come to an end. We have about 6-7 months left. We want to make sure that we raise the funds that we have, because there is an earnest money clause in there. And if we don't raise enough money, then that money goes to the academic achievement, the Elko Institute of Academic Achievement. And rightfully so. That was a contract that we entered into willingly and freely. I don't want anybody to say, oh, they're trying to take the money from the seniors. No, not at all. This was their way of, if they're going to give us a year and not let anyone else buy that land, then there's some skin in the game, and that's the skin in the game is about $100,000. We don't want to lose that money, so we want to make sure that we're successful in this approach, and that we're making sure that we have that land secured so that we can grow for the future.
All right, Matt, thanks again for reminding us of this important opportunity, and we'll continue talking about it for the next several weeks and months and hopefully get to that goal of acquiring that property. As far as goals, not quite 20% yet, but...
Not quite 20%. We're pretty close, though. After this past weekend, and we had a couple of other gifts that have come in, I think we're pretty close to 20%. So not pacing where we want to be, but we also were a little bit late. I was late in getting some of that true community support out. As a couple of commissioners had said, they weren't as aware of this as they would like.
We try.
Yep.
Yes.
And so I didn't talk to them directly either. And so I think we're going to finish stronger certainly than we began, and that's appreciated for, again, that support that we get from the community.
So just a quick question, and then I promise we'll shift gears because we do have more stuff to get to, but can estate planning count toward this, for example? Okay.
It can. If you're planning towards that, then we just need to make sure that we're making those accommodations. It wouldn't be something that we can use as a promissory note per se, but if we do get really close, then there may be an opportunity for a loan or for lending options, and then that can certainly come back and assist us as well.
All right. So speak to your local attorney. Estate planning is really smart, no matter how you choose to give or but this is how your estate will be settled when you're gone. And so you want to have obviously some direction in that. So reach out to the Senior Center, or always a good idea, reach out to your personal attorney. I mean, that's,
personal attorney, your tax preparer, your CPA, your financial planner. If you have not met your maximum charitable contributions, charitable giving contributions, there's a term there, a phrase that I'm saying not quite right, but if you've not met those charitable contributions, talk to your financial advisor, talk to your CPA, maximize those tax breaks that you get in doing so, in sharing your philanthropy. We would certainly love it at the Senior Center, but I am a proponent of Elko County. It doesn't have to come to us. It can go to the Elko Animal Shelter. It can go to Fish. It can go to so many worthy organizations that are out there that would qualify for this charitable distribution. So before, the next 21 days, oh my gosh, 3 weeks, and we're at the new year. So in the next 3 weeks, if you have not maximized, please do consider that. We are a generous community, and that's one way to, again, give yourself a little bit of tax break and share the good that has come from your wise investments and from your hard work back into the community.
Thank you, Matt. Matt McCarty from the Elko Senior Center. So food distribution, how's it going? We know that Meals on Wheels, you had to have a waiting list for a while. Congregate dining, we talked about that already, 158 in for ribs, which was amazing. It wasn't even hot dog day, so there you go. But we also know that food insecurity is an issue for a lot of our seniors.
It is, and we are in this really kind of weird position of having so much food currently that we had another organization reach out to say, we would like to do a food drive for the seniors for the holiday season. And I said, thank you so much. Is there any way you could do it in January? Because we have received these food items, and especially Elko Police Department, a huge shout out to them. They have been very supportive. The food is coming over in Sandvik boxes. So Sandvik, if you are assisting them, thank you so much for that. I've not gotten to the bottom of where these Sandvik boxes are coming from, but we have seen just an outpouring of support because food insecurity is a very real thing for many, many of our seniors. And we are doing the best we can to distribute it out as quickly as possible, but we don't have all of the resources to get them out. We don't have a way to deliver. And a lot of these folks don't have a way to get to the center. So we keep the food to the best of our ability, get it out to the folks that need it. But we are almost busting at the seams with the outpouring of community support. And so there are opportunities for giving. But again, if you can maybe wait until January, because we do see that we get a huge uptick the last half of November into the end of December, and then we don't see anything for the other 10, I shouldn't say anything. Then the amount certainly dwindles over the other 10 and a half months. And having that spread out and a little bit more even certainly helps those that are in need. And it's great to have a bounty, but oftentimes I think they would trade the bounty at the end of the year for some consistency and stability throughout the year.
Thanks, Matt. That's a great tip. You can donate at the Senior Center, and you can put January, list that on the calendar as the month to start donating, maybe make some regular contributions, and that would really help. And I know that you work in concert with other organizations that are distributing food, and so that will likely continue in the new year, I'm sure.
Absolutely. In fact, when I was on my way here, we had the produce truck here that's for only those that are 60 and better, and it's through the Food Bank of Northern Nevada. It's been a great partnership that we've had for well over a year. In fact, I think we're approaching 2 years now. Once a month, they come out and give our seniors fresh produce, which we are so thankful for. We've partnered with the Nevada Department of Agriculture for their senior food boxes. Just yesterday, in a span of about 90 minutes or so, in fact, actually it was less than 90 minutes, we distributed more than 90 boxes of food. And so it was through our drive-through. We've got it almost nailed down perfectly, and so there's always some stuff to work through. But we were distributing well over so we were delivering more than 1 box a minute to folks that would come up in their car. They can stay in their car. We give them the box, check them off, and get them on their way. And so that's a monthly food distribution that, again, are to those that are in need. This one for the NDA, the Nevada Department of Agriculture, is income-based. And so if you meet an income threshold and are below that, then we can have a box for you. If you're above that threshold, then we'll help you try to find some other places. And unfortunately, it is a gross income situation, and that's a federal requirement, and that's a state requirement. We had a gentleman that said, well, my wife has cancer, and we're spending $1,500 a month just in prescriptions, and not prescriptions, sorry. Oh yeah, prescriptions. I was thinking subscriptions, prescriptions in medicines, and because of that, we don't have anything else left. And I said, I understand that, but this is gross income, and I don't have a way to flex that. So again, try to help them find ways to find other resources and find ways to perhaps lower those medicine costs so that they have some more discretionary income. So it's funny. People think, oh, food insecurity only helps, only hits those that don't have money or didn't save during their lifetime or other things, and that's not at all it. We think that we have enough set aside, and then all of a sudden something large and oftentimes tragic hits, and it doesn't take much to be able to cause that food insecurity, unfortunately.
Oh, thank you, Matt, for reminding us of that. It just takes one catastrophic event, and even the best situated family can certainly find themselves in a precarious place.
Absolutely.
So, yes. Well, I want to make sure that we're getting to everything you're hoping to in this half an hour.
I didn't really, as often, I come in and I see where the conversation takes us. You are such a great person to talk to. It's just a friendly conversation. Uh-huh. I didn't really have anything per se that I wanted to send out, other than on behalf of our staff, of our board, of our volunteers, of our members, a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season. We are so blessed, and yes, we ask for additional support. And that's not to say that we are greedy by any means. We are so thankful, and I just can't say enough. I'm getting choked up, and I don't know why.
Oh.
Thank you to this community. Mm-hmm. The center goes back more than 50 years, and it's because of community support that we even exist. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are so blessed, and we are so appreciative of the support. And if you could give just a little bit more, we would greatly appreciate that as well. Again, a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas to everyone, and we will chat in the new year.
Yes, we will, Matt. Thank you so much. We want to send everybody so you can feel this joy and the spirit of the season at our senior center, 1795 Ruby View Drive. There is transportation available through Get My Ride. That's Elko County Transportation Services. But don't be alone this season. Get a good meal.
Yes, thank you. And I'm so sorry that is one thing that I did mean to say. If you need a Christmas meal on Christmas Day, please call the Senior Center. We have some options for you, and there is a local organization that is having a dinner, and it's not only for those that are seniors, that are 60 and better, but please give us a call. I haven't gotten permission to broadcast it, but we have that information. Please call us, especially if you're alone, especially if you, especially anybody that's hearing this that may be housing insecure as well. Call us. Let us try to help you and get you in touch again with other organizations. Sorry for interrupting you, but yes, that was great.
That was
for
perfect.
that.
No, that's called a segue.
Yes.
That was great. 775-738-3030. I remember that number because 30 plus 30 equals 60, and that's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
senior. So
There you are.
Matt, we'll send them your way. And thanks again. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I didn't get to say how cool it was that your family lit the tree at the chamber, but that's so awesome. Yes.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was, and we were honored to be able to do that. Again, this community is so wonderful. I love being able to give back because I will never be able to give back what it's given us.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Matt McCarty is director of our Senior Center. You too can contribute. Visit online, elkoseniors.org, but most of all, visit in person and give as much as you can. Thank you again for listening.